We good?
Yeah, here we go. I think we are set. I
Nice.
believe. If not, it's recording anyways. So let's just pretend that I did it right.
We'll go with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
good enough.
right. Well, all right, everybody. Welcome to Bodybuilders Amateur Hour. We're super excited for our first live show, and yeah, we're just waiting for a few people to come on. All right, we are rocking and rolling. We're getting the viewers. It's starting. It's happening. We are live, and congratulations. We can finally popped our cherry, if you want to say that, or like pop the blood vessel, whatever we do. I don't know. So, this episode of Bodybuilders Amateur Hour, we are diving into the last week of prep and what is that like. We have here, right beside me, Jamie. He is a veteran of the sport. How many shows now, Jamie? This will be your
34, I think. 33.
34. Okay,
33.
perfect. And then everyone else here, we've all done them. But then in the bottom corner, we got Big Jim. How you doing, buddy?
Hey,
Hey,
So
Jim.
good to be on.
we have
It's a bit of an honor, man.
so we have Jim here, and he is 1 week out from the PEI show, and he is a true novice. So we have some veterans plus the novice, hence Bodybuilders Amateur Hour. So I just want to dive in and kind of do a comparison to what it's like for veterans competing and a novice competing. Is it exactly the same? Is there like dramatic differences? I want to hear Jim's side of the story and Jamie's and Derek's. All of us, we've all been through the ringer multiple times, and I just want to kind of throw a comparison out to what it's like competing for the first time in 2024 versus Jamie competing in, I don't know, 70. What was it?
No. 92. First
No,
one.
no,
92.
sorry,
Close. Fucking 92.
Close.
close.
92.
Well, you got
Yeah.
30 shows on you. 30.
Wow.
So it was like,
It was
yeah,
132 pound bantamweight. My first show.
It's just automatic now.
Junior.
right.
What were you at? 132?
132 bantamweight junior. Yeah, in the junior.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
even back in the day, there was like bantamweight, lightweight, and heavyweight in the juniors.
Yep.
There were so many juniors. Or lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight. Whatever it
We would
was.
have been on stage together if I started back then. We were the same weight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my
And I'm only 10 pounds more than that now, but you're doing really well.
Yeah, you picked it up. You got some muscle there, buddy.
Before we get rolling, I just want to remind everyone to come on over to the YouTube channel, Bodybuilders Amateur Hour. Make sure you like, subscribe, and Jamie,
Hit that bell button.
hit the bell button. I don't think we have a bell sound right now live. So
We don't? Ding, ding.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, excellent. So hit that bell button, be notified. We have some awesome content. We just had Sean Ray on, Lee Priest. We have another couple really big names coming. I don't want to throw any spoilers out there, but 4-time Olympian champion, somebody coming on. So yeah, hit the bell button. You're going to want to see this one. It's going to be good. Yeah, so let's get it rolling after you hit the bell button. Cool. All right, thanks. Yeah. So if anybody is new to this channel, again, we got Jamie, we got Derek. Derek is a veteran competitor as well. He's kicked some ass. He's kicked my ass. And
Mine too.
yeah, right?
We've all had a won and lost. We've all won and lost.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then we got Devin below me, or no, but underneath me. Devin is underneath
Below you?
me, not below me.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Pick
So
and choose your words, boss.
Devin is also a really accomplished bodybuilder too. As you can see behind him, has accomplished stealing a lot of trophies from other people. But good job, man. And we got Mr. Briggs. How are you, Andy Briggs?
Doing good.
Andy, he is
Big
an amazing bodybuilder too. When I first started bodybuilding, Andy was one. Devin and Andy were the first people I really met in this sport. And when I've seen Andy for the first time in the locker room, I was absolutely blown away. I've never seen somebody that big in my life. And he had muscles that I've never even heard of before. And I was just like, I just didn't understand what was happening to his body. And I was like, how do I look like that? And then he just was like, I don't know, and walked away. He was pretty quiet dude back then. I didn't know him.
Yeah.
You figured it all out.
You figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did our first show together too, Andy, me and you.
We did, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
In 05, yeah. Back in 05. Almost 20 years ago.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Did we win? I can't remember.
What's that?
Did one of us win? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Let's
I
check.
think I won the novice. I think you might have won light heavy or something. I think you won light heavy or something like that. Or you won something.
He's won so many he doesn't even pay
You were a
attention.
lot
Yeah.
bigger than I was. I know that. We weren't in the same classes.
Yeah. Lost
then-
memories.
Yeah. And last but not least, the newcomer, Jim. How's it
Hey.
going? So Jim and I go back a
Oh,
couple
no.
years. Yeah, Jim and I go back a couple years.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
he's been wanting to compete for quite a long time. And frig, now you're doing it, buddy.
Since I was 14, I'm 49 now, man. And you tipped the domino.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. The past couple
Yeah.
years, Jim has watched me go through a few preps, and I still don't understand why you wanted to do it after watching me, but he did.
You make it look easy.
Yeah, I know.
True enough.
He wanted to eat 4,000 calories, Josh.
I was like,
And do no cardio. Like you.
Little did he know what was getting ready for him.
yeah.
Not 4,000 calories.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't like easy. That's boring.
That's true. It's true. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, yeah. So we are about a week is the next Saturday. So we have the PEI show coming up, and both Jamie and Jim are competing in it. So I just really curious about your guys' prep and how is it going, and we'll start with Jamie, then we'll go into Jim. I want to see what's a little different and how these preps are different, because you guys have different coaches too as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to see how things are going, and everybody's different, and what your coaches are doing differently, and to get you to look at almost to the same spot, right? Yeah.
Well, for me, this one here was a little different for me for the last few years. I usually have been running ahead of schedule, and seeing the changes ahead of time, that I'm usually in shape at a certain time or whatever. This one here, I went and got really heavy in the off season to try to put on some size, and I didn't realize really how heavy I was. So it kind of was. I wasn't coming as fast as what I was, so I had to start and dip down into my calories a little bit quicker. But I left room to start up high and just kind of pyramid down each couple weeks, so I didn't even hardly notice it by the time I got to. Well, now I'm at 1,400 for the day, right? So
Damn.
I didn't even notice really getting here.
Okay.
But the big drops is what you got to kind of avoid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I actually picked it back up, and I'm right on schedule again. And today was the first day that I'm getting tired. I'm not sleeping really well now, but that's kind of almost given at this point in time. But I didn't really have any naps through the day, so I'm exhausted. But today was kind of the worst day I put through yet, and it really wasn't that bad, really. So my preps are getting easier for me, for sure.
Nice. And has it been the more you do, is it the easier it gets for you, or how does that work?
Yeah, the more of them you do, it easier it gets because you make mistakes, right? And you do things wrong, and maybe the next time around you'll pick that up and won't do that again, or you'll find a better way to calm your cravings or to get your mind off things. Instead of when you're right in it first thing, you're the first time you're looking for the goal at the end. You want to be in shape. You're thinking, and if anything kind of jumps the rail a little bit, then it fucks you up a little bit. It takes you a little bit to get back on course again. So if you can kind of just stop thinking about the contest and the end result and everything so much, you can just explore the rest of the day of
Right.
what's out there. You'll enjoy the prep a little bit more. You won't be so consumed, because when you're so consumed with something that it just kind of takes you in a different world, and you got to come out of that world sometime too, right?
And
So
I personally find that like when that happens, because I've been there in my prep, and I'm sure you guys have as well, where you're just like
oh
so
yeah,
laser focused, you're consumed, and everything about your day is the show,
yep.
everything. And then when the show's done, it's just like
What's there?
what's next, and then you're empty. And
Every day
that,
you knew what you were going to be doing at 12 o'clock or at 3 o'clock or at 6 o'clock or in between, or what time your cardio. And when that stuff just comes to a halt, you kind of look around and say, what the fuck do I do now?
right.
So my advice is try to live through the preps. Try to enjoy other things to take your mind off it, so you're not secluded and not always focused and thinking too hard. I mean, some people might say that's stupid. You got to really give everything you got, focus mentally, get right in there and zone. But
Right. As like kind of like if you like look back to our last interview with Sean Ray and the way that's how he did his preps, and compared to Dorian, where Dorian was Dorian Yates lived in like a monk style life, and that's
yeah,
all he did, and like
hmm
ignored life, ignored everybody except training and
yeah,
eating. So it's two very different things that had two different outcomes, but
yeah.
who
That's
had
just
more fun? But
yeah.
I guess right.
Jamie, I got
Definition
a
of fun,
question
I
for you.
guess. Really.
Yeah, that's
What's
true,
that?
Derek.
I
Go
got a
ahead,
What's that,
Derek.
question for
Derek?
you. You said you were like your heaviest you ever were in the off season, or you got up pretty heavy.
Who
Um,
me?
are
Me?
you light? Yeah, this
Uh,
off season.
I got up to 215 for me. That's
Yeah,
heavy.
that's pretty heavy. Are you gonna be lighter this show? Did you find like you added weight, or are you gonna be lighter? Because with
I
my
don't know.
experience, my heaviest ever, I came down lighter than ever. Even
Well, I'm one. I weighed in the show. Josh and I and Andy, or yeah, Andy was supposed to do it. I weighed in at 177. Well, this morning I was 176, 175.8.
Damn, I'm
So
the
A week
same.
out,
I'm the same this morning.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
same weight.
nice.
So
exactly. 176.
176, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I weighed in at 177 the last show.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I mean, I was 215 and I'm 176, 175.8 this morning.
yeah.
So
That was my experience too. I got up to 220 was my heaviest
yeah,
for my
yeah.
last show, Toronto,
hmm
like in the off season, and then I weighed in at 175, which was way lighter than usual.
Yeah.
So
But I find
it
my
didn't really
structure. Go ahead, Dev. Sorry.
it didn't really equate to like more muscle mass. I was gonna
No,
say,
I find my structure changed a little tiny bit here or something. There's something
yeah,
different. It looks a little different, a little more fuller through the back
I was gonna
and
say,
through the chest.
yeah, I was gonna say probably with the added weight, your density probably has changed a little bit. Maybe you're a little bit harder, a little bit more
Yeah,
like you've like maybe a bit
maybe.
rounder.
hmm
Yeah, I think you
Yeah,
might be looking at like because with that extra weight throughout the off season, you're probably lifting heavier too, and
yeah,
a little bit
yeah.
more energy, so you can
More
changing the
intense,
body in
more
that
intense.
way.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, we
So
got nine more days to finish this out.
yeah, so
Oh yeah.
Jim,
Yeah.
kind of following what Jamie was saying, like how is your prep going? Like, are you living the monk life? Are you out, doing
I'm
things?
in
What?
that. Well, I'm getting my work days done, but just yeah, it is. It is. I'm in that world. I'm in that world, consumed.
Right.
And it makes it would be easier the way like Jamie's been through it so many times. It'd be easier that way where you can defocus from it so that you can get the work done, but you're not consumed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
It
is
must be
that's
easier.
hard to be not consumed in your first one. Your
I,
That's
first
it.
show,
oh
like
well,
you have to be
there'd be no way
100%.
around it.
yeah.
There'd be no
Yeah,
way
You
yeah.
around
have
it.
to, right?
That's all you can think about.
I was
Yeah,
consumed
you're
for
just in it.
probably 20 of them. So
Right.
Right.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No
I
doubt,
was gonna
man.
mention that I think the first time around, like if you are not completely like lasered in, it's gonna be really easy to stray off. I think if
Oh
you're not
yeah.
like hyper focused,
Oh yeah. You
and you
don't have a
don't.
pattern.
Right.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
just
but
what I. That's
yeah,
just. Go ahead, Jim. Sorry.
the carb depletion was the bugger because that come in that ended this week, but before that it was carb delete, so there was zero, none, and that was foggy.
Yeah.
At least I got 100, what is it, 300 grams of rice a day now and 80 grams of oatmeal. So it's back up enough to keep me so I'm a little bit functional.
Mentally, anyway. Mentally.
Right.
Just some, not totally. Yeah, I'm still in the fog.
Right. So, if people that are watching that haven't competed yet or thinking of competing, you probably hear about the mental fog a lot, or like when you're going through and you kind of, or just dragging your feet or walking through molasses or whatever. It's kind of like it is pretty much exactly how that sounds.
Yeah.
Um, everything is just a little bit harder, I think, and it almost
Tying the
feels like the
shoes,
color
standing
of
up.
the world just kind of drains out a little bit.
hmm
And how do you guys deal with that, Devin, Andy, like all of you, and then love to hear Jim's
Well, I always
experience.
do. I basically just do what Jamie's doing now. When I've done contests for the last, I mean, the first one was just like you guys were saying, you got to be laser focused. But
Hmm.
after that, I learned, you know, you got to live your life.
Yeah.
Even if you're drained or whatever, just get out and do something. Keep your mind busy, because if you don't, you'll just sit there and torture yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I
takes it takes
Yeah.
unfortunately
some time
I never
to
learned
learn
that
that.
part. I every show I did, I was all in. I'm pretty much an extremist, as you know. So
Yeah.
every show I did was all in. It was all about the show. I was pretty
Oh,
addicted to bodybuilding
yeah.
in a not the best way either, right? I mean, it made a career for me eventually, but it led to a lot of other addictions.
Right,
I hear you.
like say like example like when you weren't bodybuilding or when the show was over, what you filled your life with something else because of maybe
No,
because of the whole no.
not that. No, no. My life was filled with bodybuilding for 20 years almost, or 20 years. After the show was done, it was back to work, off season mode. But it was all bodybuilding all the time. Um, not time for fun, not time for
Right,
my
Life.
son or
family and life.
life. Yeah, like living life. Yeah. Um, yeah. So bodybuilding like took over my life pretty much. Um, so I never learned to deal with it like Jamie said he is now. That would have been nice, but
Yeah,
I'm I'm
definitely.
I'm I'm pretty extreme with everything. So
Very
after bodybuilding
true.
life, I filled it with other things. Yeah, not so good things.
Yeah.
I find for me
Like.
it's hard to find that like line where you're still able to have fun in a prep, or you're not too strict. You know what I mean? Like I teeter that line so often, and there's times where I've placed second in shows where I was like, fuck, did I teeter too far to the having too much fun this prep and not teeter enough way to the like being like diligent enough with everything, and that could have cost me that place, or and it's just constantly weighing on your head, right? So it's tough. It's tough to find that balance. But I mean, Jamie's got 30 under his belt. I've only got 15. So I mean, maybe when I get to 20 or so, I'll find that hover
It took
spot that it's good, right?
Yeah.
I probably put 20 shows in doing that
Yeah.
regiment, that strict, and that I had a diary. And I'm honest to God, if you'd open up, you'd think this lad is mentally retarded because I wrote everything in that diary, what was going on in my head that day. That's how I got
Yeah.
through the preps. I talked it out in that diary, and that's how I went through that.
Yeah.
And I had years upon years of those where I told what I changed that day. I want to know to that prep. I want to know exactly what changed all the way through and how it looked. So I recorded everything. So I was, for about 20 shows, I was that guy. Yeah. There wouldn't be a sugar touch my mouth in 16 weeks, not one piece. Even if it was told to, I would went through it out backwards. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So it was, I was pretty strict. But I learned that, and that's why I learned to do it the way I do now, because I couldn't fucking do that no more. It wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
It was just way too much. And I competed a lot. I sometimes twice a year, then take off a year and go another year and take off a year and go for 2 or 3. And then, so, and I had the family and the whole thing, right? So I had to do it all.
Yeah.
So I wish I had to learn what I know now back then is what I'm saying. But it's hard. You got to go through them too. And know what you kind of know what you don't want to realize what you do want. Right. So.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta do the math. You gotta think, after the first couple of contests, if you're gonna be a professional bodybuilder or not. Like if you're not skyrocketing to the top, chances are you're just gonna be doing this for fun.
Just for fun, right?
That's really that's really what it comes down to, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And even if you do get to that pro level, that might be the icing on the cake, and that's that. Curtain call, see you later, Because a lot of us just aren't going to be that. Even if we got there now, we're not going to be competitive there. So it's like that would be the icing on the cake to get that pro card and say, you know what, sayonara, I put my time in and I did what I set out to do, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, Jim, what are you looking at getting out of this? Being your first experience, or first show, like why? I guess let's back it up, and why are you doing this? What's your reason to be like pushing so? Why are you pushing so hard? Why? What the hell?
This is something I've wanted. Honestly, I started when I was 14, and I wanted to do this all along. And it's always been this in the way, that in the way, the other thing in the way, and then it's just I got to pull the trigger. I want to get on the stage. It's not even win or lose. It's a matter of getting up there and doing everything I can.
Yeah. Living your dream.
And if I get something out of it, then that's icing on the cake.
Excellent. Yeah.
Right.
That's an awesome way to think of it. Yeah.
No, I like it. Yeah.
So what
I'm after.
What kind of drew it to make you pull the trigger that this PEI show was the one?
I was going to do Atlantics. And then I just decided on PEI because Josh is doing the live broadcast and everything was lining up that direction, and I decided on PEI. It sounded pretty cool. It's it hasn't been back around for long, and it sounded like the right choice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you're there, Jamie.
I've competed in 1994 in PEI as a junior. That was my only time.
You're back this year?
Sorry?
You're back in PEI this year? You're back in PEI for this one?
Yeah. This is the one I chose to qualify for Toronto was PEI.
Oh, that's cool. So I will see you there.
Yep, you will.
Yeah, he's coming for the overall. For sure.
Wow.
I think you guys will. I did PEI last year.
Yeah.
I think you'll like the one show format It's boom, boom, boom. You're in, you're out. You don't have to try and like maintain your peak all day. It was nice. Like I think he started at. I was in 2 classes. He started at 10 o'clock. I was done by noon and showered and back to watch the rest of the show. Like it was good.
Oh,
Smooth,
Wow.
smooth, ran smooth. Well
That is
promoted.
cool.
Great show. Definitely.
Yeah, it is a great format. I did that for Nationals, Edmonton
Sounds good.
Nationals, before, and it was
It's nice, eh?
yeah.
I
Oh
never,
yeah, it was
I never
nice.
done it.
I
Never
was
done it
done
yet.
by before noon. I was done. Everything.
Yeah, I've done it 2 different
Prejudging
ways.
finals.
Santana had a show here,
Wow.
and the whole show started at like 6 p.m. So I've done it both ways, where you start in the morning or in the afternoon or the evening. Both ways are better than a prejudge and a night show, in my
Yeah.
opinion, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Just for timing
And
of
then
everything, right? You're only timing it once.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then my second Nationals in Toronto, we did a 2-day show. So prejudging was
I would
Friday.
Yeah. That one would
Finals
be a
was
bit rough.
Saturday.
Ooh,
I would
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
torture.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It was
That
the
is rough.
opposite. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jim and Jamie, I'm just curious. Like, I know you guys are. Jamie, you're going to bodybuilding. Jim, you're doing classic, right?
Yeah, classic.
I'm sure your guys' training is pretty much the same. Like, there's no real different type of training
No.
between bodybuilding and classic. But what kind of training are you doing, Jamie? And then Jim, just how are you guys getting ready for the show, for training wise?
I'm just training the same way as I always do train. I train with the same amount of intensity, and as far as I can tell, it's the same amount of weight. I can't. I mean, I don't. I just put the pin in, right, or the weight on, and I never know what it is for the day the next. But I still feel strong. I feel like I'm. Yeah, I push my 15, 20 reps, whatever I'm going for, and workouts. Workouts
Nice.
been great.
Okay.
Yeah, workouts been good.
So are you like, how are you training? Like low,
Yeah, I don't know.
like low volume, heavy?
No.
Are you training high volume?
Just moderate weight, high volume.
How does someone starting out get to look like you and like have the longevity of like that you have in this sport? Like,
Well, I train. I when I was younger, I trained heavy. I trained heavy as everybody else tried to train as heavy as they could, right? 4 plates on the back, squatting, and all that. And I guess got to a point where that wasn't fun anymore. So it transitioned itself. I went from stopping trying to do deadlifts and squats and all that hard ass stuff, and I went into the other motions of cables and curls and dumbbells and benching with incline or with Smith, and yeah, and as I got older, I changed up the format from 10 to 12 and whatever, and I moved it on up to 15 when we had that podcast with Dusty.
yep.
Dusty Hanshaw, he was
Right.
saying if I was you, I would go higher volume, higher reps. So
And-
I started right then, and I started going a little higher, and I put it up to 15 with the same weight that I've been using all along.
Nice.
So the intensity is way up.
Right.
So
Are you finding that helpful for like joint wise?
yes,
And my cat.
yes,
Joint wise and
It is.
like, yeah.
Tears and pulls and strains and the whole nine. Yeah, it is a little bit lighter, and just push more weight, more reps. You'll get the same, in my opinion.
Right.
I find it works well for me.
And like, let's compare that to Jim's training, getting ready for the show. Like Jim right now,
Yeah.
like, you guys don't really know, but Jim is like ridiculously lean right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's like
I saw a picture the other day. He's tight.
his first show. He's looking freakishly lean. And how old are you, Jim?
49.
49, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So 49. Like just like veins coming out of every which way, crazy abs, and yeah. So let's hear about like that. How are you training? What's the cardio like? How does a 49-year-old look better than pretty much all the 20-year-olds out there?
Thanks, man. Well, it's right down the middle, man. It's not really high volume. It's not really like it's right down the middle. You know, hitting ranges around 12, but sometimes 14. I don't put heavy weight. I got way too much arthritis for that, so I move the weight
Here
slow and
comes the
controlled. A
49-year-old
lot of
talking.
range, a lot of range, a lot of range.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it, man. Yeah, but yeah, training. Yeah, just right now I'm down to the point where it's there's no maxing out. It's just maintenance right now.
Right. So your week
But
out, yeah, you don't want to be pushing too. You want to be
you
pushing hard, but not
no
like nothing
Yeah.
crazy.
three less than max. Three less than max. Yeah, but no,
Nice.
it's cardio. Cardio is right around. It was holding 1 hour a day, but now it's down to 45 because I've leaned out a fair bit. So I really don't need to lose a lot more. I don't think at
Yeah.
this point. It's a matter of packing the carbs back in now.
So I
But
think might be
yeah,
something that you guys do differently. Like Jim's carb loading has already started.
Oh yeah.
Has it
very mild,
very
very
mild,
mild.
but
Yeah,
he started quite a bit
yeah.
further out. And I think, how does yours go, Jamie?
I'll start decarb on Sunday, and I'll start putting carbs in on Wednesday again.
Wednesday, right before like a couple days
Yeah, yeah.
before
Yeah,
the show.
Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah.
And that's what I'm used to. And like Devin is my coach, and that's pretty much like an old school way of doing it, and it works. It works for me.
It works for me.
Yeah.
Andy's my coach, and it works for us. Things
We
work
And
actually
well.
stopped.
Derek
We
had
actually,
like multiple
we actually,
coaches and really high caliber popular coaches too. And I think it's pretty much kind of the same.
It's pretty standard, yeah. Like I mean, Doucette, Palumbo, all those guys use the same type of carbon up. Greg was actually not until Friday, I think he didn't give me carbs until Friday.
Yeah.
But he's also a lunatic for having people like see through on stage. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that was definitely the best condition I ever had was working with Greg, and we didn't
Right.
start carbs till Friday that week. So,
Yeah.
Right.
He pulls for a long while. So Jim, do you have
oh
you have a
fuck yeah.
coach? You have a coach, Jim?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was on the podcast here. Alex.
Coach.
He was one of the
Yeah,
first hosts on the podcast way back when
Oh,
we
yeah,
okay.
started.
Right on.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
Alex does.
his methods are a little bit different, but yeah,
It's
working
working.
well,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
working really well.
I find it's
He's
different. It's different for everyone too. Like Josh, we do totally different stuff than I do
Yeah,
with
yeah.
my
yeah.
clients.
Nobody's the
Like I
same.
mean,
No.
yeah, I mean, like we stopped even carb depleting, Josh. Remember, if you remember
it doesn't
the
happen
last few
anymore.
shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't even
Right.
do carb depletion anymore. It doesn't really. We
Yeah.
can't we can't cut your carbs out, or you'll be
Because that
you'll
happened in
you'll drop 10 pounds in a day.
2019 for Atlantics, I think, and that's why I got my ass handed
The
to me.
test,
Right.
the
It was
test
my
he did
low.
on me was ludicrous.
Oh,
Yeah.
even though
So
you
It
so
the
was,
Alex, I
dice,
think
yeah,
yeah,
for Jim, I think
but the
Alex did like he did like a mini carb load or like a cut. What did he do
Oh
for
yeah.
you? Just like a
yeah. It was a
practice,
test. Yeah, it was like
being the very first
a
time
big
out and
carb load
around.
one day.
Right.
Yeah, I jumped 8.5 pounds that day.
Right.
Yeah, it was eight and
So
a half pounds in one day. Yeah, it was like it was about 12 hours is what it took.
I think that's really
It
smart,
was a
right? Being
pretty
your very
quick.
first time, you don't know how your body reacts to carbs.
Yeah.
You want to be
Yeah,
able to get down lean enough so you can do like a testing period early enough and then go from
yeah,
there.
yeah. We loaded right up with some muffins and stuff and whatnot all day, like the burgers and muffins and different things. And by the next morning, it was 8.5 pound change.
How did your
Crazy.
It
guts
jumped
feel after that?
really quick. Amazing.
Oh, really?
Doesn't affect me at all. No, 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 no. I'm not threatened by after the contest eating. Like I can slam it in. It's not a big. It
Like
doesn't bother me. The one thing I got on my side, I've never had to take any digestive aids. Like I got perfect
Right.
digestion. I could digest glass right now.
Mhm.
I'm the
That's
farthest thing from
lucky.
that.
Lucky. It's like the first what's pretty for people that are watching, the thing's pretty normal is like everything pretty much shuts down in the last like couple of weeks. It's like you're lucky to go to the washroom, once every 2 days, and it's like uncomfortable. They're just like the Devin's like, go get some psyllium husk. I'm like, fire, right? And then, but like that still is like still a little rough go, so to speak.
Yeah, if you don't have digestive issues towards the end, you are one lucky guy.
Yeah, that's great.
I would say 90% of people that I've ever even talked to or worked with, that's one of the biggest challenges.
Yeah. I'm not too bad. I'm probably.
You're lucky.
Works pretty good.
Yeah.
Works pretty good. I know I could go out and eat like a ton of food after.
Like I remember there was one time Devin was prepping for, maybe it was the Toronto, and he had asked me, he'd be on the toilet and he'd ask me to come in and push his stomach in so he can like get it out. He'd come in like, just squeeze me, Josh, just squeeze me.
Did you do it?
I tried and just like turtled, but that was about it.
Just like a shell of a turtle.
Right?
I think that was back in 2016, Josh. Not...
Oh, all right. I don't know. The time goes by so fast.
When you're having fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of time going by really fast, something that I like to mention about prepping for your first show and many, many others is trying to be present in the show or be present in the prep. Like when Jim started, what was it, 16 weeks out? How many weeks?
I think it would have been officially 16 when I chose the show.
Right. And now
Once I chose the PEI, it was 16.
And now we're like...
Because technically I was getting ready 32.
32.
32 is when I knew it was gonna happen, but I didn't know which one. But then 16 is where it was confirmed that it was PEI.
Right.
So someone fucked that up for him.
Who was that?
You can tell that story if you want. That's up to you. You can tell that story if you want.
What's that?
Tell the story.
The story.
I'm good.
I guess I was with Devin there doing the New Brunswick, and I didn't know what exactly I was doing after that. But then it switched to PEI, and
right.
Yeah, I just kept on moving.
Jim was with me originally, and then I ended up in Ontario Rehab Center.
So, and that not because of Jim.
Yeah.
Not because of Jim, no.
Terrible client.
I didn't put you there.
Or terrible.
Well, it'll be a second. I got to use the washroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. 1 sec.
All right. Okay. This is what happens when you're live.
I haven't got to go, man. I've got a lot of hot water in me.
It can't edit this out when we're live, right? So, like we're getting towards the end of this, but I just wanted to like put it out there too. Like I was saying, a lot of people come and ask me about preps and what do they recommend, and I always say to try to be as present as possible because the time goes by fast. And that's why I was asking about when did you start, and now where it's almost here, and like how does that feel? How fast did that go?
I'll tell you, man. I've been present and knowing that I have to enjoy it and absorb it, right, the whole time. By week 3 is when the carb deprivation started to hit me hard, and you start getting, in that zone where you're like second guessing everything.
Right.
And you start to have doubt. And, you get into a weird zone. But that's normal, I guess. That's how it goes.
Yep.
You'll get into dark spots. But no, I'm back now. I'm back. I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting ready.
Nice. So yeah, so the time went by quite quickly for you. And I was just saying to Jamie, like,
Yeah.
or saying to Jim, Jamie and Devin, that one thing that people ask me, like, give me a tip about like starting a prep. What's important? And I was just saying to be present throughout it and don't wish the time away because it goes by fast,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So try to feel like Jim, like, is this going to be a one and done, or are you going to keep going? Like, if it is, like, you'll probably never look like this again in your life. So enjoy it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
True.
Yeah. I really don't know at this point, but it's been a blast. It has, you know,
Right.
dark spots, but very minimal, really. Overall, it's been a blast. It's
Mm-hmm.
fun.
That's
It,
awesome.
I don't know how you can call prep fun, but I don't like anything that's easy.
you are kind of a little nut job like that for sure.
That's a good
Yeah.
attitude to have in the sport, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If it's easy, it's not worth doing.
So okay, I want to just go a couple more things. I've been kind of like rolling through some questions here and like just bringing them up into the conversations as we go. I've been getting a lot of this from like our question box that I put up through Instagram. But if you want to roll through, I said my piece. If Jim were to come to you, Jamie, 36 weeks ago, and he's like, "I'm thinking about doing a show," what would you have told him? And kind of like Derek, Devin, Andy.
I'd say go for it.
Yeah, and you like go, cool.
Go for it. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's. I mean, he's been training since he was 14 years old. It's not like he
Yeah,
doesn't. It's not like he's not prepared that he doesn't have muscle. We'd have to check him out and see what's going on, and then I advise him from there after look to see what he looked like, and because you don't want to give someone. And I mean, still, I never would ever tell anybody not to because they don't have enough muscle, or if they want to do it, then that's their choice, and if they want me to coach and help, then I'll do the best I can with what we have. Now, if they asked me and said, "Do you think I should? What's your thoughts on how much muscle I have or my structure?" Then you got to tell them,
yeah,
right?
that could be a different story. Yeah,
Could
Yeah.
be a different story at the end of that. But if they still said, well, yeah, I think you look like shit. No, but if they still want to do it, then okay, well then go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
yeah,
I mean, it's
I
just
would say.
it's fun. It's a fun sport. It's hard, but that's why you're an elite, few out of the population that do it because nobody really wants to put the fucking time in to do it this way,
yeah.
or it's too fucking hard. You
It
know,
really is.
Yeah,
it
there's
really
no
is
easy.
for
There's no
no.
easy about it.
And I mean, it's got to be something that you want to do because the glorification's there for one day, maybe two,
Mm-hmm.
if you win a trophy or whatever. So you got to be there to do it for yourself. Do you know what I mean? And if you're not, well, it's going to
Yeah,
be a 1-2 done because you're going to be disappointed and you're not going to like
Yeah.
it and everything's going to go wrong.
Yeah.
The way I look at
I
it, you go to enjoy the trip. It's not the destination, man. It's a trip.
No. Yep, that's
yeah,
right.
The whole trip is what it's about because the
Hmm.
destination's too short.
Right. This is
Yeah.
our sport. This is what we do. We thrive on being better in it, and so if somebody else wants to start, like I said, I was 18 years old at 132 pounds, probably just a rack of bones with a little bit of skin over top. But I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it,
that was
and I
me too,
did.
man. Yeah,
Yeah,
So I
damn
was
right.
little. They're probably looking at me as if I was just a little, and they were. I know. I mean, you're backstage with the other when bigger guys when you're younger, and there's not much respect there at all. Not that they're trying to disrespect you or anything, but that's what I guess maybe as a smaller guy would feel.
right.
But
Yeah,
everybody's there most of the time. Out of nine people out of 10, they're all there to help out. You
Yeah.
know, so the camaraderie is really
Uh,
It
it's
is. Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
I mean, if it came to like Jim, like Jim's been training forever. He has a great physique. So yeah, I would say go for it for sure. Like, if you always want to compete, do it. You look great. You have the physique. But there's a lot of people I actually told to wait in my day. Like back in the day, I've told a lot of people to like hold off. Let's aim for next year, maybe.
You told
Or
me that.
did I?
Yes, in your bedroom.
Yeah.
I remember quite
In
clearly.
my bedroom. This sounds
One
really
late
dirty in this
one late Saturday night.
That little, that
Podcast is
little
taking a
creepy.
lift.
How come everything I say about Devin is weird?
It's the
Josh
way you
used
Came
to
say
from
it.
another
pose.
house.
He used to pose in my bedroom. I remember that. Yeah, he used to
The
pose
best
in my,
lighting in his house was in his bedroom.
was in my bedroom. Yeah,
So
Conveniently.
but
Conveniently.
Right?
did I tell you that? Josh?
Conveniently in my bedroom.
Yeah, conveniently. And then we'd go to bed and cuddle, and then that was it. No,
Yeah.
did I actually tell you that, Josh?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I didn't. And then I came on stage at
I've
134
told lots of people
pounds.
that. I've told lots of people to just hold off, like do it, but it's not like a 1 year thing, right? It's not like
Yeah.
yeah, like you work out for 6 months and then do a show. I feel like you got to put the work in first, and
That
then
seems to
get
be
it.
happening a lot lately, though. You know, people are training for 6 to 8 months and they're hopping on stage because
I
social
know.
media kind of
Yeah,
pushes
yeah,
it in that direction. And
yeah.
I definitely don't agree with it, but especially younger females, like
I don't
it's,
either. I don't either.
you know,
It waters down the sport a lot too. Don't you find?
agreed. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
You do. I don't like to say you don't. We do see people that may not belong on the stage walk on stage, but like sometimes it's like maybe they had a goal and it was like a life dream, and then they're doing it regardless of what they look like.
Right.
But sometimes it's just
take the time to put the work in though, right? Shouldn't
yeah.
you?
I would hope so. Or at least maybe they did to
Um,
get to. Maybe some people did to get to even where they look like
well,
now. But
look at Jillian Parker.
amazing,
She
yeah.
was like she was like yeah,
Yeah.
she was overweight and put on, and then she
300,
started like
300 plus pounds she was.
yeah.
It's
And
crazy.
look at her now; she's doing nationals and like is a
Placed
very
second in nationals
amazing,
last year.
amazing wellness competitor, right?
Right.
So
Yep.
I
I
mean,
mean, someone comes to me at 6 months and says, I've started training 6 months ago. Can you put me in a show? I would blatantly say no.
Mhm.
That's to the point of, we're talking about Jim. He's been 14 years training and decided at
yeah,
49 he's going to do a show. I said, fuck yeah, I'm with you. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Different
for
It's
sure.
parameters.
different
That's what I mean.
circumstances for
Yeah,
different people. Yeah.
Yeah.
if you get
So,
Jim's physique and Jim's work ethic and Jim's years of training, then yeah, fucking do it,
yes.
right? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, for
yes.
sure.
That's pretty much what
But
I said.
if you've been training for 6 months and look like shit, I mean,
Oh,
put it put
if you
in
were
put
training
in
for
another
six
year.
months and you
What's
came to
that?
me and you look like a fucking pro, I said, yeah, come on.
Well,
Oh
like
yeah,
But I
yeah, yeah,
get,
me too.
but I guarantee you're not
Me,
going to look like a pro.
yeah,
Honestly, man,
yeah. If you were
You know?
Prince Bobang,
I was
I
just
spent
he
the
was
6 months
last
of
number
training,
of
and
that
then
name
in a
was
year
right on
it's
the
like, oh,
top
I'm
of my
jumping the
tip of my
show.
mouth.
Yeah. Can you
I was
train me?
yeah.
Yeah, sure. I got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Andy, what would you say?
Well, you know what? There's not that doesn't happen very often. It has, and I've always encouraged so far the person that's asking me to do the show. But a lot of times I approach people in the gym and ask them if they've ever considered doing a show. I do that a lot
That's a really
because
good way to talk to
I see a
ladies.
lot of talent
I like
sometimes, and it's like, go watch a
does
Yeah.
show, go check it out.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll want to try it out because it opens up a whole new world to these guys, and you make a lot of friends, and
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it looks
And
good.
they might not even realize how good they really look, and could
A
with
lot
that
of them
little
don't.
push, with that little
Yeah, they
push,
just
Andy,
need
they go,
someone. They just need
yeah,
the
I'll
big
fucking
guy to
try
go
that.
up to them and say, "Hey, you
Yeah.
should do that. You have
Yeah.
Yeah.
potential."
I think that's maybe how I met Jim. I don't really remember how
I'd
that
say it was in the gym.
yeah.
But I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember if you asked me about competition or whatever. But
Under what
yeah,
context it was. But
I
I
mean,
don't
I
know
mean,
for
I
sure.
remember meeting you, Josh, in in the supplement store. And you
yes,
gave me a
yeah.
muscle. Remember that?
Yeah, I
I
do
was coming in
remember.
applying for a job and you didn't hire me. asshole.
We became friends though.
That's
You two
true.
got a lot of history, don't you? Fuck. Wow, there's some deep history there.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole.
so
Yes.
Jamie, you said you were 215. You said you were
Uh,
215 off season. Was it?
yes. Yep.
That's weird. That's identical, man. That's identical. Yeah, I was 215 as well.
I come down after I was eating heavy and hard for. I come down to about 198, 199. It kind of hovered off there. Maybe 205. No, fuck, no.
Yeah,
No, it's 205 to
yeah,
208. I kind of hovered there. And that's where I started
yeah, yeah,
dropping for the
yeah.
show.
Yeah. I think that was the same. 215 was my peak. Then I'd hover around the 205, 210,
Yeah, in
and
between
then
there.
then drop.
There's a slight
Yep.
difference there
Yeah,
between you guys.
What was your guys' heaviest
yeah.
weight? What was
The height is
everyone's
different, probably.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
what what was
Uh,
everyone's
Mine
heaviest
was
weight?
whacking when I was in my 20s. When I was in my
Yeah.
20s, when I was into it before, and I wanted to compete back then everything just kind of got in the way and broke a leg and did this and did that. But I was 235.
235. Wow. And how tall are you?
Yeah.
5'8"?
No, 5'11", man, stretched out.
5'11"? Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
he- I was 218 was my heaviest ever at 5'6". Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Five
I
six.
That
was I
was
Yeah.
was
So
two.
that's pretty.
That's a big
Yeah.
boy.
So that like that 176.
and up
That height. That's quite a bit there.
and
Yeah.
that was probably back when I
Wow.
was like 30, 32, or 33. That was after that I never
Yeah.
really got
Yeah.
heavy again like that
Yeah.
until this year.
Yeah.
Andy was
Wow.
like 280, right? Andy?
No,
250?
sir. 250.
You hit
250 at
250,
Two
five
fi-
right?
eight.
Was that your
250.
Yeah.
heaviest, Andy?
That's
250?
250.
as big as I could get. Yeah. 250.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
that
not
was
Couldn't
bad.
all.
last. So I had to stop.
Yeah. Mine
I
was
was two
Wow.
twenty eight, I
220.
think, for me.
228.
228?
That's
228. I'm
Wow.
just under 5'8".
Wow. I
Wow.
was my last off season I was 220 at 5'6".
that's
That's big.
that's
Nice.
that's good.
Wow.
That's
That's
big.
big.
Yep.
It
Yeah,
wasn't a
that
pretty
is.
220, but I couldn't buckle my seatbelt, but it wasn't pretty.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
not fun
relate.
either. It's all uncomfortable shit and everything. Fuck.
Yeah.
My heaviest I've ever been was 197, and that was after Christmas dinner.
I thought you were going to say that
You were
was
still
today.
peeled.
I literally had
Wow.
Christmas dinner. I had Christmas dinner. That I went and weighed myself. I was like 197. Yes.
But you
Uh,
spent years never going into real bulk though.
I try. I literally try.
His
he fucking
metabolism's too
can.
quick.
No,
I
he
just
doesn't
Metabolism's
want to
too
get
fast.
fat.
I don't want to get fat,
As
and
soon as the abs
plus
start disappearing, you go crazy.
I go a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get a little like. Oh, I just hate it. And for a long period of time in my 20s and early 30s, I was broke. I couldn't afford to do it, honestly. Like it was just expensive and I wanted to, but it's just the funds didn't allow me to get to do that.
Yeah.
So
It is not a cheap sport.
that kind of kept me down a little bit. So and now it's just I struggle to eat that much. I guess everybody does really when you're trying
Yeah.
to gain, but
It's
mentally
hard.
as well, I have a really hard time
But you'd
feeling
have to
like
eat 15,000 calories, Josh, to get up to 220
it's
a day.
Uh,
Like it's your metabolism is
oh,
faster than
yeah,
everyone I know.
it's
Yeah, it's
it's
crazy.
a curse and a blessing, right? It's like I
Yeah.
really want to grow and get better, but at what cost as well?
You don't have to get
Too
heavier
like
though,
yeah,
really. I mean, when I did Edmonton Nationals, I started my prep at 183
yeah,
and I finished at 185, 2 pounds heavier. And I was the biggest I ever was at that show.
yeah. That was you were pretty amazing. Yeah,
wow.
So that's my plan for
I mean,
next year.
You don't have to. And when I got up to 220, I came down lighter than ever. So
Right? Yeah.
it's not about putting on the weight. I don't think. Like
No,
it
definitely
is
not.
to a certain extent, but not
It's just
really.
feeding. It's feeding. It's
Mhm.
feeding yourself. Feeding your
Yeah.
muscle.
Yeah.
I don't know if the weight. I don't know if you necessarily have to be 40 pounds overweight, but I think it's
Yeah.
I don't think
consistent
so.
feeding.
It's
You know.
making sure you're eating enough to grow,
Hmm.
Yeah.
keep growing. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Keep
So
yourself above
yeah.
that maintenance.
So that's it, kids. Just eat enough to make
Just
sure
eat
you
your
grow.
Weetabix. Just
Just
eat your
eat enough,
Wheaties.
right?
We
You don't have to be. You don't have to do the dirty bulk, right? You gotta just eat enough. Try to. It's gonna take a while, a little bit of experimenting to figure out what is enough for you, but it's
Hmm.
it is doable. And they said, I've never been over 200 pounds, but I've progressed in the last 4 or 5 years, the most I've ever in my life.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
And
That's,
then I
Mhm.
still never got like extremely heavy. I've had abs year round, and
but
not purposely.
is that
So
you, Josh, trying to eat more, but really not thinking you're eating more, like eating a lot more, but you are eating more? Is that because you're trying now
yeah,
and
I've been like
you're progressing off that? Maybe
right, yeah, like I'm trying
you're
definitely.
And
trying.
we plus you grew into the show, Josh. Like both
Yeah,
the last two shows, man. Like you were
I
how
had
much
to
heavier
I had to suck down the last two shows. I was sitting in the sauna, killing
to
myself
make
to make
weight?
weight.
Yeah, yeah.
Right
Remember you when I got you
I
to
thought
crank the fucking heat in the car on the on the drive here
on the
to the
way,
I
yeah.
mountain.
remember that.
You just made weight. I have pictures of that too, where you made
Yeah.
weight. You just made weight, like at the very end. Yeah.
There for the gladiators last year, I stepped on the weight cutoff was 176.4. I think the weight
Yeah.
cutoff is for middleweight. I stepped on the scale, and Greg Doucette was standing beside me, and it said 176.4, like right on. And I was just like,
And that was after I slept.
I brought my razor. I was ready to shave my head if I had to get down a
Yeah.
couple. I was ready to
And
do
that was we
whatever.
made you like I get you to suffer for that to like drop
That was
the
hard.
water, right? Like you dried out hard for that one. Because you left Halifax for the weigh-in
Like
at
180,
180 something.
182.
Yeah,
182. You have to
I
be
was
under
182 starting
176.
down too.
Yeah,
Man,
Jamie
As
did
soon
the
as you get the
same.
monked in, he
that's a
like
lot
jumped
of
in the
water.
sauna at the gym, and yeah,
That was the worst
rough.
experience I've ever had in my life.
Yeah,
I thought I was done for.
I remember we had a big celebration. I got the pictures where we were like, yeah,
Yeah,
after you weigh in the hotel room, and finally you got under 176 or under 177.
but honestly, like Jim, like people are watching. It was horrible. Like I never want to do that again.
Sorry,
Hmm.
Like
buddy.
sitting in the in
Yeah,
the sauna. Like
that's gonna be nasty.
The prep was good.
the prep was amazing.
Yeah, it's just
But
the
then,
drying out process, getting you to make weight at this point because
but I think what happened
you
was
put on a lot of muscle.
I was underweight 2 days before the show. Like I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. Like no problem, I'm
Yeah,
gonna sail right into it. And as soon as I started carving up, everything
yeah.
just went. And I was just like, oh
Which is
shit.
good. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what you want it to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
Plus, we
Right.
carved you up early too, right? So
Yeah.
you were carving up all week. Yeah.
But because I was so far under, I was like 170, like leading into the week, and then
oh really?
it
Down
started
that
carving
far?
up, and it just went boom, and it just
We carved you
holy
up all week.
fuck.
Yeah. Sodium loaded, carved you up.
Yeah.
By by Friday,
For
you
a
were
whole week.
182 by Friday.
It was all very slow, right? It's like,
Yeah.
Jim, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what you have to look forward to, and it's really exciting.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the cards.
Yeah.
I really am. I can't wait to get those muffins in.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about making weight. You're fine where you're at.
No, I'm under, so it's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Unless I
I wonder what.
somehow jump like 30 pounds. I doubt that.
Then you're good.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have to be under, Jim, for your height for classic?
It's not going to be a problem. It was
Oh,
204.
okay. So you
Yeah.
don't have to worry. You can
Yeah.
carb right
If
up.
I exceed that, I don't know what I've done.
Right.
Yeah.
You screwed something up.
Ate too many muffins.
Yeah, something really went wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you might. There's 12 people in your class. You say there's
Wow.
quite a bit of a weight difference from where you are to the top of your class. So you're coming in absolutely
Yeah,
peeled. Is your game plan?
that was my goal. Yeah, that's the goal.
Is he
The
just
goal
having
is to try
open
and get the
classes
posing
again?
down. What's that?
Is he just having one open class again? Like last year, he had an open bodybuilding open classic. Like there was just two classes. Like
Well,
is there
there's
actually
I'm
divisions
in
within the
the
class?
I I
We
honestly don't know that.
do.
Because
I
last
don't
year he
know. I
just
never
had the two, right?
just had one open bodybuilding and then an
He
open.
had an open bodybuilding
There might
class
be an ABC.
and an open classic.
There might be an ABC. Oh, okay, okay. Well, I know there's
Yeah,
an
let
But the
me.
open
numbers
and
were
an
obviously
open.
smaller too, right?
I don't
That's a
even know
good
what that
Open
is.
masters and novice, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good strategy though, Jim, to come in absolutely shred it. That usually
Well,
beats out anything else.
that's it. Like
It's
I
way
mean, the
better
posing, that's what I got on my
coming in
side.
fat.
The posing and condition. That's because I
Dry and
mean,
shred.
weight.
Exactly.
I'm not going to see the weight of some.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Excellent. I was just trying to find the schedule to pull it up quickly, but I can't. It's all good.
No.
But yeah, we're really looking forward to the PEI show. We're going to be there. We're going to attempt to stream it live on YouTube, which is going to be really awesome because I believe we're going to be the first CPA show in Canada to have a live stream on YouTube, and we get to do it.
Beauty.
So that's really exciting.
That
And
is cool.
Jamie and Jim are going to be competing, and you guys are going to be on it. And look at that. There you go. And I know we're bringing some trophy.
Yeah.
There you
Nice.
go.
Damn.
Nice. There we go. So we're definitely going to be bringing some hardware back to Bodybuilders
I'll keep
Amateur
my hoodie
Hour
on.
for sure.
Next weekend, Dev. You save it for the big show.
I better do some work this week then.
Awesome, guys. That's it for me. That's all the questions I got. I don't know if you guys want
Sounds
to
good, gentlemen.
give a shout out. Give a shout out to
And
Alex, Jim, your coach, and Jamie,
Yeah.
maybe your
Oh,
coach.
yeah.
Might
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
if he deserves it, but
yeah.
He does.
Alex
My
is a
coach
killer,
down
man.
below me.
He's a killer.
all right.
and Corey Arsenault is putting on the show.
Yep.
Shout out to Corey.
Yeah.
We tried to get Corey on here today, but he also has a job that he is working at, so he has another full-time job. So
Many
hopefully
jobs Corey has.
he has
Part of the
many
job.
jobs.
Yeah.
He has
Thanks for
many
having me on,
jobs.
guys, man. Thanks.
Yes, you're welcome,
Welcome.
Jim.
Thank you for coming on our
Yeah, thanks
first
for coming on, Jim.
live podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The real deal.
I don't think it was too horrible. So everyone, thanks for watching.
And good luck, boys. Good luck, Jamie. Good luck, Jim.
All
Yeah,
right.
best of luck.
I'll
We'll
see
see
you
you
Friday.
guys
There
next
we are.
weekend.
I
There it
can't.
is.
All right.
Thank you.
See you, boys.
Have a good one.
Awesome.
All
See you
right,
guys
see ya.
later.
You guys.
Later.
Peace.